So yes, I have some onions on the go, just a medium heat in a saute pan, just roughly diced, and I want to just get a little bit of color, and it's starting to soften as well. So just like 2-3 minutes. Doesn't take too long, and we're going to add a couple other ingredients here. Butter chicken usually has a lot of flavor. There's a lot going on there, so you can spice it up how you like it. Again, garlic is making its appearance. There's some wonderful Ontario garlic out right now. We grow the best in the world, so, and I'm not just saying that.
We're not biased.
So you definitely find some if you have it, and use it. I'm gonna grate it. You can just throw the entire chunk in there, and then surprise, someone gets it. That's how it goes. So a little bit of garlic goes in. Can you smell the garlic? Yeah. So garlic goes in. We're gonna add a little bit of ginger as well. This is optional, but this adds a really nice flavor. Now the ginger, if you buy some, sometimes you use it for one recipe and then you never use it again and it shrivels away in the fridge. Peel it, put it in the freezer, it'll last, and you can grate it just like this from the freezer, and then use it in the next time you make a pad thai or whatever you want to use ginger for.
That's right. And put your vegetable peeler away. You don't need that to peel your ginger. Pretty cool. You can actually peel it just with the spoon. The skin comes right off, and it's super fast, super easy. So like Jeremy said, take the skin off, throw it in your freezer, whatever bits you're not using, and it grates really, really easily when you take it out.
So ginger is in. Nice flavor. Spices. Garam masala is usually a mix of cumin, coriander seeds, cinnamon, a lot of different flavors. It's fantastic. You can buy it just as is, like mixed together for you. Or you can make your own. You can make your own little spice blend. So it's up to you. This is going to go in. I go a little heavier on this because I like the cinnamon, I like the cumin, the coriander.
Where do you buy yours?
I made mine. Yes, but you can. There's tons of different spice stores, and you know, for whole spices, you can get them at grocery stores. They have their blends too. Yeah, and the garam masala it's pretty popular now, so you can find it in most grocery stores. But Kensington is usually a great hotspot. They have tons of different spice markets there. You can find all different types of ingredients. Turmeric, that's going to go in a little bit of half a teaspoon, a little more, nice flavor, nice color.
We get a lot of questions about turmeric because of their curcumin that's in there. So lots of exciting research about some potential cancer-fighting benefits of turmeric. It has anti-inflammatory properties, and inflammation is linked to many chronic diseases, including cancer.
So turmeric in, garam masala, and smoked paprika. This is not usually in butter chicken. I like it because it gives a nice little smokiness. But that's the point, is put your own little twist on it, right? If you like a little more cinnamon, if you like some thyme, throw it in. And it gives it a nice color too. So spices, anytime you use ground spices, dry spices like this, you want to make sure you cook it out. Otherwise, you're going to get that powderiness that you sometimes get in soups or stews or sauces when it's not cooked out enough.
What do you mean by cook it out?
So cooking out is exactly what I'm doing here. So I have heat and a little bit of fat. There's a little bit of olive oil in here that I'm adding the spices to. And you just want to this is like a medium-low heat. And so I'll stir it for like another 20 seconds. And then if I need to, I'm gonna add just a little bit of water. So if it's sticking and you're afraid it's gonna burn, just add a little bit of water. And can you smell it? Yeah. So just wonderful. A little bit of water. And when I add that water, we're gonna go back to that spoon and just sort of scrape the bottom a little bit.
So cooking it out, you're taking the chalkiness or the powderiness of your ground up spices.
Yes.
And you're creating, you know, more of a sauce.
Yeah.
So that you don't get that texture.
So that's the base, that's the flavor in there right now. If you want to add heat, that's up to you. I like my food spicy, so I would take, you know, one little green chili, chop it up, put it in. If you don't like spice, obviously don't eat it. If you're in between, you like a little bit of heat, there's a little trick. Take the chili, take your knife, and below the stem, so make sure the stem is intact, just split it like this. So it exposes the seeds in the inside, and then I'm just gonna throw it in whole, just like that. Find it after. That is not a fun bite to have. But this way, I'm not really getting too much heat. I'm getting the flavor from that chili. I might get a little bit of heat in there, but it's a great way to control it. And as you're cooking it out, as I add the other ingredients, you can taste it, right? If it hits the point, okay, you know what, my heat level's good, you take the chili out. So it's a great way to sort of spice.
Slow release chili.
Exactly. So, lots of flavor in there. Now this is the trick. This is where we're gonna avoid using lots of butter, lots of cream. We're gonna get a really nice creaminess out of this tomato mixture. So I have about 2 cups. This is just diced tomato. You can use fresh tomato or you can use canned tomato. Let me get this away from Christy before I make a mess.
Super. All right.
So tomato in, and this was actually a trick that I learned from my aunt, where she would make a rosé sauce, a really nice pasta rosé sauce with tomatoes in the blender and almonds, and blend it up. So I'm gonna use cashews. I stole this from her, but I'm gonna use cashews.
Nuts have a beautiful creaminess that you're gonna add, and you're getting healthier fats versus the saturated fat you'd find in cream.
And
We're
a
adding
couple,
some heart-healthy olive oil.
Yeah, exactly. A couple teaspoons of olive oil. Lid on. Make sure it's secure. And mix. Just until the cashews are blended through. It takes about 30 seconds. And you're gonna see it changes from that red to almost like a rosé color. It's almost like a cream sauce. Beautiful. So can you see the change in that? So now you have this really nice creaminess, almost like rich sauce, but it's from the cashews, a little bit of that olive oil. And we're gonna put that right into here. Now, if you wanted to add any other vegetables, now would be the time to do it. So you can see we have an overabundance of large zucchini in our garden right now. This would be a good time to add zucchini. I like eggplant in my butter chicken. It's not usually traditional, but some people put eggplant in, and it's tasty. So I'm gonna put some diced
We're all about
eggplant
packing
in there.
in vegetables too. Why not?
Okay, so that sauce is in, and that's it. That's all I'm adding until the end. So I'm gonna stir it up. Make sure you get those spices, those onions, right? And you can see the color of it right now. So we're gonna put this over medium heat, let it simmer for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I mean, it does not take long. It's not a long dish at all. And then at the end, like Christy said, if you had that roasted chicken, you have some leftover chicken, throw it in there. If you have some leftover chickpeas, throw it in there. Really, really simple. And I'm gonna show you this one.
How long has this been simmering?
So this has been simmering, I turned it on, maybe it's about 30 minutes, a little bit longer, but it doesn't have to simmer that long. So you can see how the color mellows out a little bit there. Really, really tasty. The eggplant at this point is nice and soft. I already took out the chili, so that job's done.
You don't need to worry about that.
And then here, so this is pretty much finished. This is where I would put, roasted chicken. Again, chickpeas. I'm gonna leave it in bigger chunks. You just wanna make sure the chicken's cooked, but you wanna make sure that it heats through. Even big pieces, sure, why not? And then to finish it with a little bit more creaminess. And again, there's no cream in here, right? So typically butter chicken, there's a lot of cream added at the end. We're gonna add yogurt. This is a Balkan style yogurt. It tends to be a little bit thicker. It's a little bit higher in fat percentage. It's usually about like a 5% to 6%. Not as high as cream, obviously, but it has a little bit of the higher fat, because if I added like a fat-free yogurt, or even like, a really low percentage fat milk or yogurt into hot stewing butter chicken, do you know what will happen? It'll curdle. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not the most pleasant to look at. So we're gonna put something that's a little more substantial, and right at the end. So I'm stirring the chicken through. We're gonna add just a little bit of that yogurt in there. So that's the butter chicken, beautiful color. And again, I would put, because I like that creaminess, so right at the table, I'd put right on top a little more of that yogurt. Take some, this is when you want to add like fresh herbs, fresh cilantro. I know cilantro haters, you can use something else, but
it looks beautiful for presentation.
we're just gonna put, yeah,
oh
some just roughly torn fresh cilantro over top, super, super fresh. And then Christy, if you don't mind, grab that lime. And again, citrus, if you're gonna add any, add it right at the end. Keep that fresh, bright flavor. If it cooks, you sort of lose that freshness a little bit. Beautiful. And then we'll do a little squeeze.
Does cilantro grow differently than other herbs in your garden? Because I find that it never works for us when we try to grow it, but all the other ones are like...
Yeah, commercially grown cilantro is a little different than homegrown. It tends, I mean, it really depends on the plant. The ones that we grow in our garden, you get a lot of flowers, a lot of cilantro flowers, which are delicious. You know, it's not as dense as this. But what's nice is you get the seeds, the coriander seeds, and harvest those, dry them, and then put them in your spice drawer. And they're fantastic to use too. But that's it. That's our butter chicken, elixirified, lower fat, healthier.
For you.
Beautiful.
All right.